Now, as we move beyond the introduction and the definition section, we're going to be engaging those body paragraphs. And if you look on the template, I gave you a series of, shall we say, sub questions for each section. Now, each section needs to be roughly 2 paragraphs in length, but I gave you a series of sub questions that direct you guys to go looking for certain things, okay? Now, what I did here was I kind of created an example using Captain America. And so you'll see for each section, I took the sub questions themselves. So there are 13 in all. And I did a basic little layout next to them. So took the question and kind of gave you an idea of what should fit into each section. So here's the basic identity, Captain America. Here's the alter ego, he's Steve Rogers from Brooklyn, New York. You have a nemesis, things like Red Skull. He's allied with the Avengers and Falcon. I even did a little bit here where I took an example of a supervillain with Lex Luthor. What is their drive and purpose? What does the supervillain do? Okay, what are their powers? You'll see I have little examples for all of these. You can look over these. Target audience. Captain America usually appeals to patriotic kids, also military forces, police, things like that. Tends to be quite popular. And then this leaves the fictional world behind, and now we enter the real world. And so when and where he first appeared in March 1941 in Marvel Comics, at the time it was known as Timely Comics. He was created by Joe Simon, Jack Kirby. He's the Captain America Comics #1, March of 1941. He's on the cover of Punching Hitler. And then, of course, I get into this idea about pop culture, when the character was, what the character was created for, his impact. And then, of course, right here, I start listing all the more recent movies where the actor Chris Evans, no relation, unfortunately, to me, has portrayed him in the most recent movies. Unfortunately, since I didn't update this last year, I would have added Avengers Endgame. So this is just designed to sort of give you an idea of how you could go about filling in those questions. And in the next video, we'll talk a little bit about the research element just briefly.